That's why between 2000 and 2020, 30 million Christians deconstructed and walked away from their faith. These are people who went to church, who were in life groups, who prayed, who read the Bible, who sang the songs, and something happened in their life where they were like, no, I love Jesus, but then they experienced something that didn't match their expectation because they loved the narrative of Jesus that they had created. They weren't willing to recreate themselves to fit the narrative of the gospel. And so rather than becoming new creations, they just created better versions of Jesus that fit what their perceived perspective already was. And so no one else can really measure up to being a Christian because they don't really feel like they measure up. And eventually the guilt and the shame and the inadequacy of never feeling Christian enough causes them to just drop the water bottle. And the lawless behavior that they were living and the fact that they didn't want to have to actually deal with accountability or truth. They only wanted grace and love, which isn't love if you don't have truth. Because they didn't like how the church responded to certain individuals or certain groups, or that doesn't sound like what Jesus would have done. You don't do what Jesus would have done. And so they end up thinking this Christianity stuff doesn't work, so they drop the water bottle. But here's the beauty of the scripture. Because you start off with saying, I love Jesus, until Jesus doesn't do what I love to do. So you find out that your love for Jesus isn't enough to keep you in love with Jesus when you actually go through the harsh realities of college and trauma and disappointment and people hurting you who go to church. And so you drop your faith.